Hey team, you're watching Hide and Sneaks, and there's some more hype behind another Jordan 4 model. This time Nigel Sylvester is back and bringing his love and attention not in the low RM model, but this time the main flagship, the Jordan 4. So let's have a talk about the Jordan 4 brick by brick and see what we think. Starting things off, I want to make my intentions for the shoe pretty clear because I think we're in a weird place in sneaker culture. We put such a bias just because a pair that's a collaboration. Now obviously collaboration means great materials and we want great materials, but if we look at this pair and we ignore the collaboration factor, it's a red and orange Jordan. That in itself is a really weird colour scheme, they just don't tend to go together. So when I first look at the shoe, I'm just not sure quite how to wear this. That said, I did a bit more of a deep dive and I wish they did a bit more of an explanation of this in the promos. Now obviously it is called brick by brick and there's that kind of imagery behind building upon your success, working hard and kind of chasing your dreams, having the tenacity to bring through hard work what you want into reality, which is what Nigel Sylvester uses as a guiding force. But I didn't quite pick up on the fact that it's also a double entendre because it's not just the building element of building brick by brick, but the orange and red is actually inspired by the downtown bricks of New York City. And they actually take that narrative and theming quite well throughout the shoe. You see that sort of brick treatment down to the box, which I think is quite cool, but the part that I completely missed and I really like is the way they've wrapped the shoes up. So they've wrapped them up, put that band around them and made it very similar to how you would find a slab of bricks on a pallet. So great narrative there, and it does make me warm a little bit more towards the shoe. But without me giving my opinions, let's talk about it first in a collection point of view, get it in a miss, maybe or must ratings. Is this a must? No. Now that might be a shock. I know a lot of people love our Jordan 4s and the collaborations. I just don't feel like this shoe itself is a must. And a big part of that is just because orange and red as a color scheme doesn't necessarily work and lend itself easily to outfits. Now I know we're all really passionate about this release at the moment and they've done a great job in the materials they've used on the shoe, but I think if we take the collaboration out of it and we look at it holistically, this is not going to be an easy wear shoe. I think there's a lot of bias that people are putting onto the shoe, so for me it can't possibly be a must. Is it a miss? Is it a maybe? Now, I have been quite harsh on the shoe. That doesn't necessarily mean I think it's a miss. I think a lot of people will struggle to wear this in their outfits and they'll be going out of the way to do it. I know there'll be some TikTok guys that do some absolute crazy things and make anything look wearable, so they'll rock it for sure. But for the vast majority of the general public, I think it's a little bit of a hard wear to wear. That said, I don't think it's a miss because it's elevated by the fact that it's got great materials and the overall treatment of the packaging, the box, the story, the narrative. For me, it just edges it out to maybe territory. The main thing for me that I advocate for why this is a maybe is we don't have a lot of like full block colors in that Jordan 4 space. So for me, if you're building that Jordan 4 color wheel, this is your orange pickup and you're going to need it for that particular reason. So I'm going to give it a maybe rating because I think there'll be some people from a collaboration point of view, materials point of view, or color wheel point of view who want to get this, but it is just on the cusp of it being in this territory for me. And I know that's a hot take. Moving on to the vibe check. Now you're probably thinking, how are we going to find a vibe check for a pair that's already such a weird color scheme? I mean, orange and red, how many pairs does that really line up with? And that's what I thought until I remembered this woman's release from a couple years back. They were the Jordan 5 Dunk on Mars. Now that pair is a mix of orange and red, and at the time it was seen as a really weird take because how do you make orange and red work? It was kind of like a weird take on the Raging Bull 5s. But in this case, I think it kind of captures a lot of those similarities between the orange and red. Now women's Jordan 5s don't sell out or go for crazy retail, so you could probably still get those pairs, but I think because it's a 4, and 4s in my opinion are better than 5s, this could be a better take at kind of capturing that orange and red aesthetic of those pairs there. Taking things a step further back and looking at more in the Jordan 4 lens, I'm looking at what other Jordan 4s are mostly orange or mostly red, and it could play a bit of a vibe check for. Now I couldn't find anything in the orange space that kind of came to mind, but there were a couple in the red space. The first one being the 11 Lab 4 and the 4 red colorway, and the other one being the Jordan 4 Fire Red Singles Day women's release from 2018. Now both of these pairs are full red, bit of a statement pair themselves. So if you're trying to go for an all red Jordan 4, I think the Nigel Sylvester brick by bricks is probably the closest you're going to get to those. Now orange isn't necessarily the perfect vibe check for red, but it's the best we've got. So if you were trying to get those pairs, and obviously 2018 on a pair of 4s is getting a bit back there, I think this is a great way to do that and kind of captured it at a more elevated lens. And also maybe the height will last on this pair, so maybe you're getting a similar aesthetic with a pair that has continued and sustained height. Up next, it's time to talk to my fiancée Brooklyn and see what she thinks of these shoes. Are they a near miss or are they near misses? And let's see how many purple hearts this shoe gets.
Nice. I like it. I think I like it. It's so wrong, it's right. Like, it's like pink and orange. You get a bit some yellow, kind of red, but lately people have been, and it just works. It's not complimentary whatsoever, but it just looks good. It's unexpectedly nice. If someone was to say they have an orange and red shoe that is a Jordan 4,
Yeah.
I'd be like, and you show me that. Quite nice. I like the shoe, but I don't love the shoe, so I'm going to give it 8 purple hearts.
And is it a near miss or is it a near
This
misses?
is a near misses.
Huh.
Yeah. Have I had one before?
You had the Jordan 11s,
Oh, yes.
but I still haven't edited that video yet for a shoe that came out months ago.
Spoilers.
So this might be your first public near miss because that one hasn't come out yet.
Okay, this is one of my first near misses, which is really exciting. I quite like this shoe. It's like the boom emoji. Oh.
Thanks babe for making time for this channel. Surprisingly you're a fan of this pair, so that's interesting. I can take notes, maybe pick up the pair myself. Well, that's all we have time for today. I hope I haven't offended too many people with my hot take. I'm calling this almost a miss in my miss, must, or maybe ratings. But hey, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe when I see this pair in hand, I'll change my mind and have to pick this up. There's been a number of pairs I've done that for, so this might be just like that. Let me know in the comment section below if there are any other March sneakers you want me to comment on, review, and rank. Until then, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.